Trev had to get over that linebacker, so I had to buy a little bit of time. So I stepped up in the pocket, was able to get enough on it to get in the end zone. And, I mean, that was a big play in the game, and we needed to kind of get in that end zone after that long drive that they had.
How did you get enough on it? Because it looked like you were basically face planting as you let go of the ball.
Yeah, no, just everything I got was that Bobby Stroop workouts. So, no, it was you find a way in those big moments, and that was a big moment. And I was glad that Trav was in that spot where I was able to give him the football.
Did you know coming off your hand that?
No, there was a little bit of I didn't know if that dude was gonna get back in there, and it was kind of one. It was a touchdown or a pick, and I was able to get through and get to the end zone. But it's something we worked on. I mean, that's the end of the day. We worked on that play and that situation, 3rd and long, and we were able to do that.
What did you think of Travis after the catch on the 49-yard play?
I told Carson, I said that those tackles that tackle him in the regular season don't tackle him in the playoffs, and he did a good job. He caught the ball, he got off the tackle, broke another tackle, and then hit it down the field, and he was trying to get them knees up, but I was glad he got us close enough that we were able to get in the end zone.
Just from him being able to get that open.
Yeah, it was. They brought the safety on the pressure, and once they did that, I knew he was one-on-one with a linebacker, and so those are those matchups you look for. And they kind of try to zone it off, and he just got right in the window, right behind the linebackers, and that's what he's done for his entire career.
How do you explain Kelsey's ability to elevate usually every playoff season?
Yeah, I mean, it's simple. I mean, people say it's real. It's big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games, and that's just how simple it is. And he's one of those guys. He doesn't let the moment be bigger than what it is. He just goes out there and execute at a high level, just like he does in the regular season. He just does that at a little bit higher intensity.
After that 3-week break that you had and some of the other guys had, I'm sure that benefited everybody, including you, but how much do you think that helped Travis?
Yeah, I think it helped Trav a ton. I mean, just because he's older guy. I mean, and he plays a very, very tough position on the body. So when you're able to get some weeks off and kind of get your body reset, and he's not. It's not like he's just sitting on the couch. I mean, he's working out and kind of just taking those reps off. And so for him, it's just been getting himself ready to go. We've been practicing. We've been working at practice, and then we go out there and he plays fast and takes his game to a new level.
You see any difference in him, his demeanor, his focus, whatever it might be, playoff week?
Yeah, it's playoff Trav. I mean, he's a leader, man, and this is what he lives for, is playing in these moments, having the chance to make big-time plays, and he goes out there and does that, and it seems like he does it every single playoff game.
Patrick, it strikes me in this moment that when you first made the AFC Championship game, you didn't have children. 7 years, 7 consecutive AFC Championships. What do you appreciate most about this particular run and getting another opportunity to have one move towards the Super Bowl?
Yeah, no, it's been a special run. I mean, just with everybody here in Kansas City, from the organization to the community, from the team, and from my family. And I just try to cherish that. I mean, I still remember moments from the World Series my dad played when I was 5 years old. So these are moments that I'll have with my family for the rest of my life. And it's a growing family. Hopefully we're done growing for a little while. But it's cool that I'm able to play in these big games. And the Kansas City community has brought me in to be a part of their family.
We'll go across from Sam. Go ahead. Patrick, just wonder if you could analyze the early part of the game and also just how effective or how much did the wind affect just the ability to throw the ball?
It kind of is what it is. I mean, the one throw down the sideline to Hollywood probably got it a little bit, but I feel like that's an advantage at Arrowhead, is having the elements, having the cold. And I've always said I want to be the best thrower of the football out there. I mean, I thought CJ played good, though. So, I mean, he was spinning it as well. But that's what Arrowhead is special, is that you get the wind, you get the cold, and you get the freezing temps, and then you go out there and you just try to go out there and execute at a high level. And I feel like it's an advantage for us. And so we'll try to carry that on into this next game.
Were you surprised at all, Patrick, how open Travis was throughout the game? You had 8 targets, 7 receptions. A lot of those were a pretty big window to get it in there, especially on the 49-yarder. Was that something schematically you felt like you were able to take advantage of, or was it just what was presented and were you a little surprised by it?
I think it helps when you have 1 and 5, that speed and D-Hop out there. I mean, when you have those weapons out there, it's hard for defenses to kind of account for everybody. And so they were playing some shell coverages over the top. If you think about the play that Trav has the big catch on, the play before, we almost hit Hollywood for like a 60, 70-yard play or whatever it was. And I think that scares teams where they're like, we can't just focus all our attention on Travis. And if they do, I have to continue to shoot those balls down the field to those fast guys and let them make plays. And that's kind of the battle you have with the defensive coordinator.
Well, last week,
Patrick, what's it mean to you to see Andy get his 300th win? And that's probably hard to sum up How did he do it?
Yeah, I mean, he's just a great person. I'm more than a great coach. He's just a great person, and guys want to play for a guy like that. And he's been so instrumental in making me who I am, and I owe him a lot of my, pretty much all of my success. And so I told him that we need to get to 302 though before this year, and then we can worry about next year.
Patrick, no catches for DeAndre, for Hollywood, or even Juju. If you had known that going into the game, would you have been concerned about your guys' ability to win the game?
You know, I mean, obviously you want to get those guys involved. That makes your offense even better. And obviously there was times where we kind of stalled out on drives. And so that'll be something that we work on going into another great opponent this next week, and whoever that is. But they're part of the offense, and they know that, and they're going to keep going out there and competing. And in the playoffs, it's always, you never know how it's going to go. It's about finding ways to win, and we found a way to win today. But we're going to have to get those guys involved if we want to get to our ultimate goal.
Last two, go ahead. Well, Patrick, Helen Henderson from Gilbert talked to you before.
Yeah.
I noticed your mom's post after Golden was born.
Yeah.
Brittany, congratulations, you guys. But I noticed her post in Tyler where she took the picture of the signs of Sterling and Golden Road.
Yeah.
Talk about what your mom means to you guys as far as a grandmother.
Yeah, I mean, first off, it's her birthday, so happy birthday, Mom. So no, she's Grams, she's Grandy is what she calls herself, and our kids love her, and she's been a huge instrumental part of my life, my entire life, and taking me to those baseball games. And she takes a picture by that sign. I mean, Golden Road's where I played baseball growing up, so it's those are the things that you'll forever remember, those moments you have with your parents. And she's here today, and I'm sure she'll be ready to take care of these grandkids tonight.
Last one,
Patrick, along the lines of what Adam asked, you guys only had 212 yards of offense. Tell me about the team. How does the team get this done? How much credit does you guys get for that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I said this a little earlier, I think one of my other interviews, and I said Coach Reed, me, Chris, Trav kind of get all the credit, but this team is a team, and I think that's special. There's guys throughout the entire roster that make plays, and every single week, if it's Leo or if it's Trent or if it's George today or whoever it is, it's about everybody, and everybody's winners in this team, and I think that's what makes us special. So it doesn't always have to be an offensive explosion. It doesn't always have to be the defense locking it down. It's just who can find a way to get a win, and how can we do that. And I think that's what makes us a special football team. We'll try to carry that into next week.
Thanks, Patrick.
All right, so I'll give him the credit. Patrick Mahomes in the divisional round, you see the numbers. 7-0, hasn't turned the ball over. Now 16 career playoff victories for Patrick Mahomes. Equal footing with Joe Montana. Second most all time and halfway to Brady. Back with the Mac, as we just heard words here from the star quarterback in Patrick Mahomes, who is going to have his hands full whoever he's looking at next week. It's going to be either the Ravens or the Bills, that to be sorted on Sunday night on CBS. Our friends in the desert do offer a slight advantage if they match up with the Bills, 1.5. A slight disadvantage, they'd be catching 1.5 against the Baltimore Ravens. As you see it, is there a matchup advantage one way or the other for this version of the Chiefs?
Well, you look at, for the Chiefs, having played against both teams, right? Baltimore, week 1, and of course, traveling to Buffalo. When you look at the matchup, I think the matchup that would be the biggest issue, that would pose the biggest issue, is the Baltimore Ravens. And here's why. When you look at both quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, they're basically the same player. They're 2-1. Elite quarterbacks, but they can also become a high-level runner with the football as well. But when you factor in Derrick Henry, that's a different animal, right? In the first meeting with Baltimore, Kansas City, Derrick Henry really didn't get off. He didn't have the opportunities. It was Lamar Jackson. I mean, Lamar Jackson threw for, 270 or so, ran for over 100 yards. It was the Action Jackson show. But now when you look at what they have with their offense, Derrick Henry is heavily involved. Derrick Henry can take over a ball game by himself. So when you factor in that into the equation, and when you look at Buffalo, it's Josh Allen. You might get James Cook sprinkled in there a little bit, but then it's pretty much the who's of who. One thing you know about Baltimore and this team currently as we see them today and how they play, you're going to get Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry for sure. And that's a different animal than the animal they face opening weekend of the NFL season.
Similar in so many ways. Star quarterback, next to elite running back or an elite running back, a pair of tight ends that can catch the ball, can put their hand in the dirt as well. a below-average receiving core, I think it's fair to say, on both sides, especially if there's no Zay Flowers on one. I don't know if there's a good answer to that question.
And also, too,
who you want to see if you're the Kansas City Chiefs.
Basically, the information you gave us, which is great in terms of betting, the odd makers out in Vegas feel like Baltimore would be a difficult matchup, more of a difficult matchup, meaning because they would be the favorites, correct? By a point. It's basically a pick 'em, but
point and a half.
Yeah.
Anytime you're giving Patrick Mahomes points anywhere at any time, give me them.
Yeah, don't do
if
it.
you're giving Patrick Mahomes points
Take Pat Mahomes.
at Arrowhead in the playoffs.
Underdog, he covers.
Wearing a red tie next week.
Stop it, you're a Bears fan.
Hello, xin chào tất cả các bạn. Mình lại quay lại đây. Video ngày hôm nay mình sẽ tô màu những sản phẩm này đây. Các bạn hãy xem thật kỹ nha. Đây là những sản phẩm mình chưa tô. Những sản phẩm mình tô màu xong thì chắc chắn nó sẽ rất là đẹp. Tại vì mình có hộp sáp màu này này. Sáp màu này của mình nó giúp mình tô màu rất là đẹp luôn. Và bây giờ các bạn cùng theo dõi mình tô màu những sản phẩm nha. Hẹn gặp lại các bạn.
Bây giờ chi tiết tô màu các bạn. tung ra màn hình.
Hello, xin chào tất cả các bạn. Mình lại quay lại đây. Video ngày hôm nay mình sẽ tô màu những sản phẩm này đây. Các bạn hãy xem thật kỹ nha. Đây là những sản phẩm mình chưa tô. Những sản phẩm mình tô màu xong thì chắc chắn nó sẽ rất chi là đẹp. Tại vì mình có hộp sam màu này này. Sam màu này của mình nó giúp mình tô màu rất chi là đẹp luôn. Và bây giờ các bạn cùng theo dõi mình tô màu những sản phẩm nha. Hẹn gặp lại các bạn.
Mình chích tô màu nha các bạn.